So the second part of my day, once I got to this house clean, um, so a few weeks ago when I was at this place to clean, their next door neighbor approached me and inquired about my service and stuff, and that didn't eventuate. So anyway, I'm at the house cleaning today, and so the neighbor lady comes through, and this time around she said, "Do you want to come have a look at the house?" Because I said to her, I was like, "Look, I think it'd be best if I come and had a look around the house, and then I can, do a quote, and we can, talk it through." So anyway, as I'm walking down the stairs to go on, onto the grass to this lady's house, I said to her, I was like, "Is it all good if I've got no shoes on?" And she mentioned, and she goes, "Oh, yeah, like, she was more worried about like the prickles getting to my feet." And when she said that, I laughed and I was like, "Oh no, me and prickles on the grass are good friends." And so I joked with her and said, about me and shoes. And I said to her, I was like, "Oh, just in passing for some reason," I said to her, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm actually heading to South Island, to the sacred sites at Castle Hill. And funnily enough, I'm actually having to buy shoes, to actually, yeah, do these tracks." And then that intrigued her, and she started saying to me, she's like, "Sacred sites? What do you mean?" And so I said to her how I work with energetics, and that's how I do, the clean and clear, the clearing, because for me, being attuned to Reiki and all of that, being 3A Master Reiki qualified, like everyone else out there who has healing businesses and stuff, I never actually, had gone down that path, not from the lack of trying, but yeah. And then, long story short, about a year ago, so it came to me that, hey, like because of COVID and stuff, I gave up my aged care role, and and being autoimmune and all of that. So that's another story for later. But yeah, so like how I came through with this idea of working with energetics, and that's how I do my house cleaning and stuff, and that's how I call in for my clients. So anyway, we start talking, and then she starts asking me about, yeah, the sacred site. So I was telling her about the energy points and about the Waitaha, like like history, Maori and New Zealand history. And then she goes to me, she's like, "Oh, is that like with Wairua and stuff?" And so I was like, yeah, like, so she obviously is a believer. And then anyway, as I walk into her house, she's got all these plaques on the lounge walls, and the first thing, there's some words, and the first thing I notice is aroha, and so that quite is significant to me. And by that time, I had already shared with the lady about piwakawaka and me, and she then tells me that, oh, fantails are her favorite birds. And and then, yeah, and then I started sharing with her how, yeah, how definite, in the past, piwakawakas are superstitiously, can't even get my words out now, superstitiously, like the old generation classes it is a sign of death, but that's not actually what it is. It's teaching us to be lighthearted, and so because life can, especially now, can get a bit serious at times. So anyway, she said that to me, and she goes, yeah, she's like, I love them because she said that, every time I've had piwakawakas around me, I don't feel anything but, like happy and stuff. So anyway, then I walk around her house and stuff, and so we do the business talk and stuff. And as I'm about to leave, um, she also shared with me that they got some sad news today, and I straight away was like, "Oh, that's probably why Piwakawaka wanted to visit you," like, um. Anyway, and then as I'm about to leave, she's like, "Oh, I've got to show you something," and she then sort of kind of scuffles around in her garden up the front, and there's this big, tree, like not tree, but like one of those big ferns, and then next to it is like this sort of overgrown succulent. But she's like, "Oh, there's something there," and so when I like put my head underneath to see, what I see is what she was meaning is that there's a ornament. Like a garden ornament, and it's a piwakawaka one. So as soon as I saw it, I pulled her out, gave her a dust off, in the front of like her place where the garden is, there was these two sort of concrete, almost like fern looking curved things there. So what I did is I just sort of shuffled it and I said piwakawaka right there. So now, and she was so happy that I did that, and she wanted me to do that. So I did that, and then I was like, now everyone can see that from, that's the first thing they'll see. And yeah, then I gave her a hug, and yeah, now I'm gonna go and see her on Tuesday to do her house, which means more money to fund this trip to Castle Hill that's happening on the 19th, which reminds me the raffle is still on. Please show your support. And even if you can't get a ticket, share it. Send your good vibes out to me, because that's what we're all about, the good vibes. Everyone wins. And yeah, for now, thank you for being you.